Hello and welcome to another Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is BryanCPSteele and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. Hi everybody. So it's crazy time here at the end of the year. Let's smash through a week in Bryan because it's actually pretty easy. Work-wise, I'm focusing a lot on some Shadowrun writing right now, getting closer to getting this novel done and working actually a little bit on some narrative for a Shadowrun board game. Honestly, that's about it, besides juggling some emails and getting that kind of stuff done for my other gigs, because it's holiday break from Evil Genius right now, so I've been able to focus a little bit on my other things, and it's just, I've got multiple families to juggle when it comes to, who goes to what for the holidays and which kids where and all that stuff. So there's just a lot going on. So I'm trying to, I won't say take it easy. I'm still working like crazy, but it's not the same. So that's really all that is. Painting wise, I actually just got some 3D prints from my 3D printer buddy, since my printer's still down, to paint the adventuring group for my niece's D&D game. So I'm going to hopefully get that taken care of relatively soon. She sent me a collection of concepts and colors and things like that they want those to be, so I will take a look at those as soon as I can. But that's really the only painting that I've got planned because I've just been really doing other stuff. Gaming wise, played some board games with the family, played a couple of playtest games of some Warzone Eternal stuff. Got my Rifts game this weekend, and that's just about it. I mean, I know that's not, it's the holidays, and I should be trying getting as many games as I can, but it's weird, having a little extra time means spending a little extra time on all the stuff that you don't have time for the rest of the year. So, yeah. Personal wise, still going to the gym, although I think tomorrow, my gym session tomorrow is probably going to be kind of light. I don't know how I did it, but I seem to have tweaked something in my back, right in the middle. So it's not just general, you're in your chair too much, or you slept wrong. It's hurty. It's ouch. I'm going to give it a couple of days. I'm going to try and take it easy tomorrow. And, see if it works itself out. And if it doesn't, then, I might need to pay for a massage or something. See if I can't figure out what exactly is doing the thing that's making the ouch. But yeah, so that's really it. I know that's, I was I'll smash through a week in Bryan real quick. Well, I did. But it's because it's been, a normal, nothing massive or major crazy has happened. It's just a normal, everyday, having a good time situation. Let's see, what else? Since last we met, I went to go see Aquaman 2, which I really, really enjoyed. Obviously, I'm a giant Aquaman fan, but I enjoyed it for multiple reasons. I think that it's suffering from external negativity, the end of, the Snyderverse's version of the DCU, the fact that there are people that are refusing to go see it because Amber Heard is in it. I think social media has really hurt the movie industry collectively. Well, I'm just going to say that straight away. But if you are even remote, if you were a fan of the first Aquaman movie, definitely go see it. It is fantastic. My wife actually liked this one better than the first one. I liked the first one better because I think it had a better a place of heart for me. But this was still a really good movie. I think that it had kind of a hokey beginning, and you could tell that when they came to the realization that they were not going to do the dark and dirty version that James Wan originally wanted to do, that they really kind of hammed up the hokey comedy aspect. They marveled it up, and I think it suffers in the beginning. But it gets past it pretty quick, and the rest of the beats in the movie are pretty solid. The fight scenes are amazing, but that's never really that's very rarely do the DC movies miss on the action part. Also, this week came out on streaming the Rebel Moon the PG-13 version of Rebel Moon Part 1. So it is a good movie. Is it great? No. Do I think that the uncut R-rated version that's going to come out in a few months is going to be better because I've actually read the screenplay? The script? Yes. I think it's going to be much better. I know that there are several scenes that didn't make it into this version. I also, without getting too deep into it, I think that there is a lot of foundation. There's a lot of world building stuff that is going to be found in the novelization. It's going to be found in like coffee table books and comic books and ancillary products that will help build this universe up dramatically. I think critics are being overly harsh because critics feel like they must try and take Zack Snyder down a peg after the whole Zack Snyder, the Snyder cut of the Justice League, that whole situation. But I'm not here to talk about that. I just wanted to say it's on Netflix. You should watch it. I understand why some people do not like it. I also think that there are a lot of people that went into it going, okay, wow me, and couldn't find a way to just enjoy a simple sci-fi movie that's really, really pretty. But I digress. You should go see it, and you should make the decision up for yourself. Right now, it's either number 1 or number 2 in movies being streamed in like 61 countries across the world. So obviously, there's something there. Don't believe the critics. Make up your own mind. What else? I think that's really it before we move into today's topic. Today's gonna be kind of a fast thing. I got a lot going on, but I wanted to make sure I got this filmed because I want to say my goodbyes to 2023 and my hellos to 2024 as a moment of the channel, a moment for myself. This has been a crazy year. It's been pretty nutty. But I think for the most part, it's been a good year. There's been some hiccups, obviously. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to take 5 moments, 5 kind of things that happened in 2023 and say my fond farewells to that. That is not to say that they're bad things. That's not to say that they're that like, oh my gosh, it's a heartbreak. I just want to kind of highlight some 5 things that took place in 2023 that I feel were important. And then after that, we'll take a look at 5 things that I am very, very much looking forward to in 2024. Now, this is, by the way, just gamer related. I'm keeping it to the channel. I'm not talking about anything real life wise, because otherwise this list could be 20 long on both ends. I'm just doing these 5 things in the nerds verse, so to speak. Number 5 in 2023, I had to say goodbye to my ability to create Essence 20 stuff for the various Renegade licenses. Now, that's not necessarily an ad nauseum thing. Maybe I will eventually be able to return to making Essence 20 stuff on the side or something like that. I know that there's definitely some very, very cool products and projects that Scott over at Renegade had planned while I was in the planning process, and I would love to be able to be a part of some of those. I don't know what the future holds, but what I can say is that it was very, very bittersweet to leave that behind. I love my work with Power Rangers and Transformers. I did a little bit with G.I. Joe, and then obviously the field guide. I still have one more book for Transformers that has yet to come out. And I know that there are ideas and monsters and threats and some stuff that I put into the Renegade design machine before I left. So we'll see if that stuff ever comes to fruition. But we in April we still get to see the Enigma of Combination, which is the combiners but for Transformers, and that honestly was originally it was supposed to be like my magnum opus in the Transformers line. That was the book that I wanted to do the most. So I'm glad that we'll still get a chance to see that, even if it became a conglomeration, a collaboration between myself and several other writers. It still very much followed the outline that I put together and the concepts that I had future-proofed in the rules up to that point. So that was a bittersweet moment in 2023. I was making that decision and determining that a steady gig with a different company was going to have to be what happens. Number 4, I was part of several Kickstarters this year, whether it was as part of helping manage them, or part of the creation process of what's being made, or helping the helping it completely in the case of like Warzone Eternal. It was Kickstarters are stress. They are just liquid stress poured right into your heart. While it's not to say that I won't be a part of them again, or crowdfunding campaigns. In fact, I know for specifically I'm going to be part of one in the spring. I would be lying if I said that I didn't wish that our industry relied so heavily on Kickstarters. I think that it is something that the industry shifted toward and would have an extremely difficult time shifting away from that. Number 3, I was part of several role-playing game campaigns, some of which have kind of petered out just because of timing and the people involved, and they're an entire they're like an hour's drive away, and for whatever reason several of the people involved won't make the trip up, but they will make the trip over. It was just very hard, but I think primarily I wanted to say goodbye to my capoeira cat monk in the waking the waking dream, or that was my friend Micah's game, and we played that for like 3 years, and I had a lot of fun. It was amazing. It had a really cool end, I'm always happy to see a story come to a close, and I think that that game came to a very nice ending. So that is a fond farewell to that campaign, and the other campaigns that are not officially ended by any stretch, but definitely it's been like 6 months since we played. I feel sorry for that, not being able to orchestrate those, or not being able to be a part of those, or I feel bad that stuff happens. But it unfortunately it is the nature of adulting. To be honest, being an adult gamer, it's sometimes pretty hard to juggle everybody's schedules. Number 2, I want to put a little glowy light on Gamehole Con. I know I did an entire episode wowing about Alex's convention, and it's so good. But I want to take it to a personal level. This was the first time that Alex had asked me to be a special guest at Gamehole Con, and I had a blast. I had an amazing time, both on the clock, at the table, away from the table, playing in other people's events, streaming games online, just in general. It was such a fun show, and it will be if he'll have me, I'll definitely be a guest next year. And I just, if there is one show that someone says, I'm not going to do Gen Con, it's too busy, I am a role player, what show should I go to? I used to be like, go to GaryCon immediately, and I still say go to GaryCon, but I think that if you can only do one, GameholeCon is a really, really amazing show. GaryCon's awesome, and it sells out, and it's very, very busy, and you get to play some very cool games. But GaryCon is also, I would say, predominantly D&D focused, which makes sense. It's Gary Gygax's Memorial Convention. But whereas GameholeCon, the amount of different kinds of games that are being played, it runs the gamut. And I think that if you were just a general role player looking for a show to just go and have a good time and have a chance to actually play or spend some time with some of the industry folk, myself included, GameholeCon is where it's at. And then number one for 2023 is it kind of goes hand in hand with the saying goodbye to Essence 20. Is while I still have some freelance gigs still happening, not having to be free, not being freelance only, and absolutely freaking out if things weren't coming together was huge. It was good for my mental health. It was good for my physical health. It gave me, I would have never, when I was freelance only and just trying to smash as much work into my schedule as I could, I didn't feel like I could, there's no way I could have taken time to go to the gym 3 times a week. And even if it meant just sitting in the living room and like eating my breakfast slowly, I would have been like, okay, but it's not time at the gym. It's not driving back and forth. It's not all these things, because I would have been stressed out that that's not time spent toward my next paycheck. And becoming a staffer at a company, at Evil Genius, Dave taking a chance on me and making me a full-time writer and then a full-time producer and now the head of Sci-Fi Games. It's stressful, obviously, but it is a different kind of stress, and knowing that I have stuff to work on, but not necessarily stressed that when they end, there's nothing waiting for me afterwards, being able to set up what my next gig is going to be, helping orchestrate other writers and people who were in my position 10 years ago. It's big, and I think that it's probably my number one thing to look at in 2023 is I am thankful that sort of change was able to happen, and I hope that going forward it maintains and stays a good choice, especially with how the fact that my boss is so cool about me still taking the occasional side gig just to kind of put different tastes in my mouth, keep me motivated, so to speak, and money's nice. So yeah, 2023 was a good year as a geek. As a as a professional nerd, it was a solid year. Ups and downs galore, but overall, I think that it ended positively, and I'm happy to say that it seems that a lot of the negativity is past us, for the most part, professionally speaking. But now let's look forward to 2024. Let's take 5 things that I am absolutely looking forward to, that I think that are going to be shining bright lights. The fifth, number five, is I am very, very, very much looking forward to hopefully a positive ending to the Netflix lawsuit about the Rebel Moon role-playing game. That was the project that brought me, that I don't want to say lured me over, but it was definitely the carrot, the carrot at the end of the stick, that brought me over to Evil Genius from all of my Hasbro stuff. And I can't comment, obviously, because the lawsuit is ongoing. I would just, I really, I want that whole situation to end. I want to be able to talk openly about what has happened, what could have happened, what maybe will happen. But that's definitely something next year that whenever that's going to happen, I want it to end positively for us, obviously. But just having that chapter come to a close, no pun intended, will be very big. It'll be a big weight off of my shoulders in multiple ways. Even if it ends up meaning more responsibilities or whatnot with the company, it is still going to. It's the not knowing, it's the limbo, it's the not being able to talk about it. That's the kind of thing that really adds to my stress. So I'm looking forward to that in 2024. Number 4, I know for a fact that I will be doing a lot more streaming on other people's role-playing games. I know Tommy wants me to do some more Hollywood shadow running. I know that at least in 1 or 2 conventions, I'm supposed to be reprising my role of Noggle Honeysbane. Here in just a couple of days, I know it's not technically 2024, but it's kind of my last hurrah. I'm doing another Extra Life charity stream with the folks over at Nerd House. I love role-playing. I love getting to entertain and be part of these games. And if I can find a way to use my position in the industry to get more of those opportunities and entertain more people with different role-playing games and different characters and the creativity that I want to be able to put out there in the world, that's what I'm hoping to do. And I know my schedule's crazy busy, and some of these things have to get scheduled months in advance. But I do think that in 2024, you're going to see a lot more of that if I can find more streams that will take me. Number three, I am extremely excited to be part of the Surviving Strange Hollow, the Art of Emily Hare in role-playing game form. We made that announcement. I've talked about it here already. Hopefully you've already went and signed up for the Kickstarter and said, yay, I want to be part of this. But having talked to the people in charge over there, I'm very, very excited to see how that Kickstarter goes for multiple reasons. But also, it is neat to be part of the world building for such a strange, no pun intended, strange place. And talking with Emily and talking with Jason and figuring out what all we're going to do with this world and how we're going to deliver it. It's going to be an amazing product, and I'm super excited for that to unfold later in 2024 as well. Number 2 is actually it's kind of 2-part. I'm looking forward. So the third installment of the agency files, the kind of Men in Black-esque stuff for Everyday Heroes, is on our website, ready to rock and roll. It's on drive-through. I think it was like number 11 on the drive-through products under $5. Is the third file, the third agency file, and it's looking like we're starting to see some people on Discord talk about it. They're using it in their games, and I've got a couple of plans for some more agency files to add more to that kind of setting within a setting sort of thing. And if it continues to go well, maybe we'll make more out of it. Maybe we'll make something bigger and better out of the agency files. But as it is, I expect to see more of my sci-fi-ness coming out for Everyday Heroes and eventually maybe even some Everyday Arcana. And I'm very, very excited for all the things in 2024 that I'll be able to. All of the wonderful sci-fi stuff I'm going to be able to add to Everyday Heroes over the course of an entire year. Obviously, need to wait to see some licensing stuff on a few things, but for the most part, even if all I get to do is expand upon the agency files, I would love to make an our own Everyday Heroes setting that uses that sort of trope adjacent concepting. I would love it. And I'm looking forward to 2024. I know a handful of things that I'm already have concepted and people I've talked to about putting these things out. So I'm still very, very excited to make that a reality for everybody. But I think 2024, the thing I am the most excited for, work-wise, and I can't say that things that I know are going to happen, barring super crazy emergency, because obviously I already mentioned the Rebel Moon thing. I would love for that to gel, and depending on how that lawsuit comes out, I would love for that to be a thing. But I don't know that for sure. There's a lot of questions involving around that. But one of the things that I do know for certain is that we have put out the beta version, like 3 or 4 of the Warzone Eternal rules. And we are so happy with how things are going, with the couple of little wording cleanups we've had to do. Every version has been just a little bit minor here and there, a couple of tweaks, nothing major. And Alex and I recently had almost a day-long meeting. We met at a restaurant, and we basically hung out there for hours on end, talking about where we want this game to go, talking about the different units, talking about where things would be. We kind of started setting a map of what things are going to look like going forward, realistically speaking, based off of sales and how the retailers do and all these things. But that's all going to begin in earnest in 2024. I'm super excited. The Saturday night at Adepticon, I haven't made the announcement yet. I wanted to wait until kind of like we got back from holiday and stuff. I'll probably beginning of January, I'll probably make the official announcement of why I want people to get together at Adepticon. But I'm very excited for, as long as nothing comes screeching to a halt, we should be able to have minis in people's hands next year. Have the rule books and the fiction book out for people to read and enjoy and have in their stores next year. 2024 is going to be a big, big year for Warzone Eternal. Because it's technically going to be like its introduction to the real world. And while the beta rules are great and people are proxying and all that stuff, and that's fabulous, and obviously I have no problem with that. I'd love to see that happen. There will not be a better moment for when we can start packing boxes and shipping that out to retailers and shipping that out to the backers. And that is the official models in hand start for Warzone Eternal is going to be really probably the crown, one of the jewels in the crown of 2024 for me. And I listed that at number 1 because it really is. It was several years in the making. Alex and I, beat ourselves up. The Kickstarter took a lot out of us. The design took a lot out of us. The dealing with the artists and the sculptors and it's like building a rocket ship and then never being able to actually take off, and basically being told, all right, the fuel is coming. All right, the weather's almost right. Okay. The orbit. Oh wait, no. There's something in the way, and then now we're in the metaphorical T-10. Like it's just. I am very, very excited for that to become a reality. I was trying to explain this to Alex because everyone knows I do a lot of planning. I do a lot of forward design. I do a lot of, I've got the next 8 years worth of minis planned, like all of that. And Alex is always very keen to tell me, hey, by the way, it's possible that we might only get like one wave out every year. Like, don't go crazy. And part of why I'm able to be this sort of, oh my gosh, design is because I'm so confident that when this gets out and it gets into the hands of retailers and starts getting played at conventions and the demo staff people that the volunteers that we get that are going to start running organized play events, and when that kind of stuff starts to happen and starts to come together, I'm very confident in this product. And I think that it is going to be, is it going to break the bank and suddenly become, a $1 million franchise for us? No. But I do think that it's going to be popular enough that we're going to have more bandwidth than what we are planned for right now. I think that we are being very conservative in a great way. And I think that when it starts to hit that, no, the iron is very hot, I think that we're going to be able to do a lot with it. And 2024 is going to be a great signifier for that. Yeah. So that's my number one is getting to see Warzone Eternal products out in the hands of people sometime this year. And honestly, those are my big geek moments. Those are the things that I'm personally very staked in seeing next year. Plus the things I wanted to say goodbye to for 2023. So as we say good evening to, we put the last year to bed and wake up the new one. I'm hoping that this channel continues to do well. Please share, subscribe, click the little bell thingy, select all ringy-dingy bells, like, comment, be part of the comment raffle every month. I'm still planning to do that. I would love to be able to get some more sponsors. I would love to be able to get a lot more followers and subscribers to the channel. But overall, even if I just stay with the loyal few that are part that initial surge that we got when we started the channel, even if we only stayed with those, it means a lot to me for the people who do listen in every week, who do leave comments and participate. I'm very happy and I'm very humbled that you guys have stuck with me. And for all of you who are new, I'm happy and humbled that you have decided to be part of this. So without further ceremony, thank you so much for being part of this over these last few years, for these last 200 some odd episodes. Just be safe, wash your hands, get your shots, wear a mask if you're in a place where someone has requested or you feel like you need to. Try and leave every place that you go just a little happier than when you got there, and I think the world will be a much, much, much cooler place. But if all else fails, take a break from reality, enjoy yourselves, and play some games. I'll see you next week, which is technically next year. So I'll see you in 2024, guys. We made it.